So the fact is that software development is not a career that is suited for everyone. And simply, it might not be suited for you. I'm not saying this to say that, software development is for the able few. It's not some elite sort of field for geniuses and technology savants and mathematical wizards. It's not that, and that's not the reason why I'm saying this. But the reality is that software development is not a career that's suited for the personality of everyone who tries and attempts down this path. Maybe right now you're not sure whether or not you're actually cut out for this, but by the end of this video, I'm going to help you to understand whether or not software is a viable career path for you based upon who you are as a person and your personality traits. This video is going to help you to get some clarity on that. It's going to answer that big question of are you really cut out for this? Is this really something that you are capable of doing? So the number one thing that I want to talk about is this isn't a career that is for you if you are doing this for just the money or the ego and the gratification, right? Not to say that money is not important. Money is very important, and that is definitely a consideration that I had in my mind when I started down this path of learning to code. However, if your only draw into this career in this field is the opportunity to make a bunch of money, you are not going to have enough juice in order to get there. Money is a motivator, but it's definitely not the only thing that you need in order to get there. Okay? It takes a lot of passion. It takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a lot of time in order to go from where you are right now, which is a beginner in programming, to landing your first job and ultimately to thriving and building a successful career within software development. And a lot of people lose sight of the reality of what their life is going to look like once they get to that end goal, right? They're going to be coding on a day-to-day basis. They're going to be working on software problems. Their job and their days are going to be spent solving problems through code. They lose that reality and perspective and end up simply just seeking out the money. And that honestly is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so don't lose sight of the real reasons that I'm going to cover in a second. So the real thing that you want, the real barometer of whether or not this is right for you is, are you passionate and excited about creating things and solving problems, particularly technological problems, right? Are you actually interested in solving problems and building things? So programming is not about which language that you learn. A good programmer is somebody who's passionate about solving problems. They're solving problems and building things. So a good programmer is actually less about being a math wizard or a very analytical person. It's more of a creative role. It's more closely related to the mindset of a good musician or an architect. A good developer is somebody who has a vision for a problem that they want to solve, and they're excited about the possibilities of the things that they can actually build using the tools that they're learning, right? So if you are passionate about creating things and building technology using software development skills, building technologies that really make an impact on this world, you will be a good fit to be a software developer. You will grow to be good at this if you are passionate about solving problems with technology and you're interested in creating things. Now, I do want to mention this though. As a beginner, you're not going to really understand fully whether or not you're passionate about this, but you'll know whether or not you have an interest and if that passion can grow into something real for you, because that passion does develop over time as you develop your skill set and as you practice and grow within this field. The second thing that I want to mention is, are you actually passionate about technology? The reality is that when you get into this field, your life is going to be centered around technology. You're going to be using your computer for 8 hours a day. You're going to be working on applications that exist on the internet. You're going to have to understand where the world is moving in terms of technology. So unless you're the type of person that's interested in using new technology and staying up to date on technology, if you're already the type of person that spends hours per day playing video games on your computer, or you spend hours a day surfing the web on the internet, it's going to be a lot easier for you to make the transition into becoming a software developer, as opposed to somebody who doesn't really like technology all that much, doesn't use technology all that much, and is trying to force themselves into a role that it really isn't a good fit for them. The next thing that I want to mention is persistence. So are you willing to push through problems? Are you the type of person that gives up easily, or are you the type of person that continues when the going gets tough? Do you have the type of mentality where you do not give up easily? Are you patient and persistent? Your daily work on a everyday basis is going to revolve around running up against problems, whether they be large or small problems with for example, error messages within your code, or maybe syntactical errors. You forgot a comma here, or you forgot to end a loop there, and you're not going to understand why your code is broken. This is going to be a day-to-day problem for the rest of your career. So if you're the type of person that gives up on problems quickly, the type of person that does not push through problems, like maybe, for example, you're the type of person that doesn't really like solving puzzle. My mouth is not willing to say these words right now. You're the type of person that doesn't like to solve puzzles or persist through hard problems, then this is not a career for you. But if you're the type of person that enjoys persistent problem solving, you patiently are able to try solutions from a different angle, have them not work out, and try to approach it from a different angle later and a different angle later. If you're the type of person that can run into a roadblock and persist through them and try to find a way around them, then software development is a career for you. If you're the person that gives up easily, this is not for you at all. You will not make it. It's not worth your time. The next thing that's super important is, are you actually willing to put in the time? This is a skill set that's going to take you, I'd say, between 6 to 12 months to learn the fundamentals. Depending upon where you are right now, the amount of time that you have to put into this, your level of persistence, how quickly you catch on to things, it can take you anywhere between 6 to 12 months to learn the foundational skill set that's going to put you in a entry-level job. If you're willing to put in the time, you can get there. If you're willing to make the time in your day-to-day schedule, you can get there. It's going to take consistent effort. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take an extreme amount of commitment. It's going to take you sacrificing things that are on your schedule right now that are not serving your ultimate dream and vision of becoming a software developer. It's going to take you cutting out some of those things. Like maybe you have to cut out, for example, for me, I have a hobby of making music. It's something that I had to cut out in order to get my mind right and on track and on path in order to get my first software job. I had to cut that out. I had to cut out some friends, spending time with my friends and going to bars on the weekend. I had to cut that out. I had to cut out spending time with my family so that I could focus my mind and all of my time and free attention upon the goal and the vision. So if you're willing to make the time and put in the time and discipline yourself, then this is something that is definitely doable for you. Okay? So at this point, you have two options. You can either choose to go about this the hard way or the easy way. You can continue to try to learn to code on your own by just joining Facebook groups, watching YouTube videos, continuing down these learn to code sites, or you can get help, direct help from someone who has already been there and done that, who has already taught themselves to program and transitioned from a job as a waiter making minimum wage to becoming a professional software developer in the span of 9 months. So you can continue to try to figure this out on your own, take shots in the dark, or get a proven system from someone who has done this, like me, and has helped dozens of other people that started in the same exact position as you. Okay, so if you're interested by this and you're sort of overwhelmed by a lot of the things that I'm talking about today, and you want to arm yourself with an actionable plan that you can use to chart a path forward for yourself over the next 8 to 12 months so that you can learn to code as quickly as you possibly can and land your first job as a software developer making about $72,000 a year, and you want to do that within the next 10 months, I want to offer you an opportunity to jump on a call with me so that together we can create a plan to help you to reach your goal. This is a 100% free strategy session, and how this is going to work is very simple. You're going to book a call, and we're going to hop on the phone for about 45 minutes. I'm going to ask you some questions to get some clarity about where it is that you're actually getting stuck right now. Where are the roadblocks that you're running up against? What's causing the confusion? And ultimately, I'm going to help you to get clear about your goal in software, where it is that you want to go, what type of company that you want to work for, what skills that you need in order to accomplish that goal. And by the end, what we're going to have is a specific plan of action for you to achieve that over the next 10 months. You're going to have a shortcut from somebody who has been there and done that, and that is me. And whether you decide that you're a good fit to work with me personally is not really necessarily important. This is 100% free. And at the end of this, if I decide that you are a good fit, I'll extend an invitation to my Zero to Developer Accelerator program. Okay, this is a 12-month intensive program that's going to take you from where you are right now, which is someone with no coding skills, to someone who has professional programming skills and their first job within software development. Okay, and again, this is for people who are willing to invest in themselves. First of all, this is a huge investment in time. Okay, this is months, almost 300 days of your life is going to be devoted into this program. So if you're not willing and committed to this, don't even book a call. The second thing is a financial investment. Okay, it takes a significant investment in order to join this program. Okay, because of the level of focus and intent and energy that we put into each one of our students, talking with them one-on-one, creating plans with them, talking to them daily, helping them to work through coding problems, helping them to educate themselves about specifics of different technologies that we teach, facilitating our groups. It takes a lot of money in order to do that. So if you're the type of person that's willing to invest their time and their money, go ahead and book a call. Okay? Again, I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but this is what it's going to look like. When you go to the URL, it's softwaresensei.org/apply is the URL. The link is above if you're on Facebook, and below if you're on YouTube. You can click the link in the description. You'll be taken to a page that looks like this, where you can schedule your time with me over the next week. So I will have availabilities. The calendar will not look like this. I only have 16 spots over the next few days, okay, because I just physically can't handle anymore and do all of my other student work without getting overwhelmed. So if there's something that sounds good for you, go on and head over to softwaresensei.org/apply. The link is in the description, and book your time. You'll get to a page like this where you choose a time that's most convenient for you. Okay, so you choose the time. You'll fill out the form with your name and email. So this is going to send you a reminder when your time comes. It's going to send you a reminder via your email and your mobile phone. And then once you submit that, you'll be taken to a page where you need to fill out a short survey for this appointment. This is going to help me to get clear about who you are, what your goals are, and it's basically just going to make sure that the time that we spend on this 45-minute session is going to be as thorough and as detailed as possible, so I can help you to learn the most about yourself and where you want to go within that 45-minute session. Okay, so go ahead and click the link, softwaresensei.org/apply, and book your time now. Again, my name is Robert, and I will see you and talk to you soon. Peace.